Hi everyone and welcome to Protocol 36, and in today's video we'll be speculating the chances of MCU Spider-Man getting more Disney Plus shows after Spider-Man freshman year that could explore Tom Holland's iteration in the ways the movies couldn't, or future films that wouldn't be able to. But before we get started, if at any point you enjoyed this video, I really appreciate if you could drop a like, as that would really help out the channel. Thank you. Now the MCU's version of Spider-Man has completed his trilogy and then getting another one exploring his life in university, and we have an animated Disney Plus show, Spider-Man freshman year, about him being set before the events of Captain America Civil War, and about how Peter Parker became Spider-Man in the MCU, something fans have been wondering about since Spider-Man Homecoming. But after freshman year ends sometime in the future, whether that be next year or beyond that, is there a chance we could get more animated shows about Spider-Man in the MCU? I flesh out his life a bit more, especially the amount of stories you can tell with the character like Spider-Man set in a universe where other heroes also exist, like in the comics. Personally, I think there's a high chance they could do at least one more show about MCU Spider-Man after detailing his origin story in freshman year. But if they were going to do another animated Spider-Man show about the specific adaptation, what would it be about? I think if another Disney Plus show about MCU Spider-Man happens, I think it could be about Peter's life and his adventures in New York in between each film he starred in. So a season 1 of that show could take place between Spider-Man Homecoming and Avengers Infinity War, which could be around a 6 to 8 episode series about Peter staying and making his choice by continuing to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man for New York instead of becoming a full-time member of the Avengers, where we could see him take down more organized crime in New York and overall becoming way better at using his powers than before, and going to Manhattan from time to time. Not to mention explore Peter's life without Liz and how him doing the right thing would ruin not only her life but also her family's. However, one of the biggest things they could also do in that show is of course finally showing the conversation Peter and Aunt May had when she found out that her own nephew was Spider-Man. The movies didn't really have a lot of time to go over that, so I think it would be best to show that in the series, given how important it is overall, and of course continue to develop their relationship in the MCU, even after everything that happened in Spider-Man No Way Home. And the season 2 could obviously be about Peter's life between Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, so around Peter's junior year, and overall what it was like for him after he just died in space and came back, knowing that he just missed 5 years. I know Far From Home itself did kind of tackle that, but it was 8 months after the events of Endgame, and here we could flesh it out completely and of course perfectly set up that film, as well as how the criminals were adjusting to the brand new world after Thanos just wiped half of the universe, and the types of blows that industry took, especially when we know that the Kingpin was also affected thanks to the snap, according to Vincent D'Onofrio, but because of that he lost his power after the Daredevil series. So it would be great to see how the streets were affected by it, which we saw a bit of in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It would also ultimately cause a lot of chaos in New York, and speaking of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it could also provide an explanation where Peter was when the Flag Smashers attacked during the finale, especially when originally he was supposed to be in there, but obviously Kevin Feige said no, as well as continue to show the crush he had with MJ, which developed off screen during the 8 months and a bit in Far From Home. So yeah, I do think we could get another Disney Plus show about Spider-Man in the MCU sometime after freshman year comes out. This is just a theory though, so nothing has been confirmed, but personally I think they could continue to develop more stories for Spider-Man outside of the films, given how popular he is and that they have the full animated rights of Spider-Man, which is how they're able to make shows about him and have him appear in other MCU animated shows, like What If, which we just saw months ago. But I could be wrong and they might not even make another animated series about MCU Spider-Man after freshman year, so right now it's just speculation in the end. However, what about you guys? Do you think MCU Spider-Man could get more Disney Plus show after Spider-Man freshman year? Let me know in the comments down below, I would love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. If you enjoyed this video, please like, and one more subscribe. To begin, Protocol 36.